What's happening, everybody? Today we are on day 7, so the final day of new decks every day with Cosmic Creations, and today I have a rush deck. I realized I went back and looked what we've made. We haven't really hit an aggro deck yet, and we only made one deck with Zoe, so I made a Zoe aggro deck. Stumbled upon it, kind of started crafting some different things with her initially, trying some weird things, but then found something that I really enjoy and crafted it up and started running a few games with it today, and it's been rocking pretty solid. So again, if you guys have enjoyed these 7 days of new decks, leave a like, leave a comment, all that type of stuff. Subscribe to us. It's super, super helpful for us trying to, get our reach as big as we can so we can hit League Partner one day. That's the dream. We're pretty open about it. But let's jump right in. So this deck here, it is a Zoe Zed deck trying to utilize the Sparring student. So it's when you summon an ally, give me +1/+1 this round, which is super, super strong. So it gets obviously really thick, and we've seen cards like this before. This Ionia archetype has been a thing for a little bit now, but it hasn't really popped off insanely much. A lot of times you can use it with House Spider, and then you can use the crowd favorite and things. But there's an interesting combo with the Sparring student, and obviously when you're going to run that, you're most likely going to also run the Greenblade duo. It's another ally that has a 2/1, but also gets a +1 buff for power when you summon an ally. Combining those two and then using cards like the Spacey Sketcher, which typically is a 1 card that will turn into 2 units. You can't guarantee that. There is a chance that you're going to get 3 spells on your Invoke package. I didn't do the math, but it's extremely low to not see at least 1 unit in that right in the 3 cards that you invoke, because there is 4 units under 8. That's a unit that's 2 units. We have the Starry Scamp, who's actually the combo piece because he's a 0 cost unit when you do have something, when you do have a Celestial, when you behold one. So if you see the Spacey Sketcher or Zoe, you can time it right so you can start playing a Starry or 2 Starry Scamps to buff your Greenblade duo or your Sparring student for an early rush attack, which is really powerful. And then obviously as well, Zed here will also summon his Shadow Clone when he attacks, which will in turn buff your Sparring student or your Greenblade duo, which is super powerful. And then we have the Mentor of Stones for some additional support where you're buffing the elusive deck. So it's mainly an elusive deck, but it can also just kind of go wide if you get, good pulls from your Spacey Sketcher or from your Zoe Invoke as well. So you're kind of doing that whole type of thing. 9 1-drops, so we're being very aggressive. 2-drops, we have 3 Greenblades, Sparklefly, and Starry. So again, 9 2-drops. Ideally, the Starry's coming in at free. 3-drops, Mentor and Zed, and then the only other unit we have is actually 2 Zeebles. The Zeebles have been super clutch, so if you play it on turn 5, likely since you're using a lot of elusive units, you can actually stun 1 or 2 units, which can help Zed and his clone, and when you go wide, to actually get some damage through. On top of that, it's just a 3/3 elusive body. Super clutch card. Then we're using plenty of protection with 2 Bastions, 2 Denies, 3 Nopifies, and even 1 Sunblessed Vigor. I had Hush in originally. I don't think it's needed, because we don't have enough trading potential where we really care about it. And then obviously 3 Pale Cascade and 3 Blessing of Targon just for that extreme extra damage pushover with your elusive units. So you're rushing your opponent, you're getting a lot of damage through. Super fun deck. And just one more thing, just to talk for a second about the Celestials. Oops, sorry about that. About the Celestials here. Like I said, when you do craft something or invoke something that's under 3 cost, the Serpent's absurd. It's another 0 cost unit, so that could be 0, and the Starry Scamp could be. So it's a huge buff to your Sparring student for a turn, and he gets to pull out another unit. So the Serpent's like the number 1 pick. The number 2 is the Charger, because Charger's a 4 attack with Overwhelm, so he's going to get damage through. And then Elusive is our game plan, and the Messenger just is a unit that funnels and lets you draw more cards. So all of them are ridiculous, and when you use super cool star chart with Zoe or with the Spacey Sketcher, these are the 8 you're going to get to pick from, and you pretty much want any unit, but Serpent first, Charger second. As far as matchups go, if they have heavy removal, yeah, it can be pretty annoying. We do have a decent amount of protection to try to save them, but like Ezreal Draven isn't a really super favored matchup. Against Grand Plaza, if they're just waiting to play that on turn 3 and then go from there, they're going to be really low really quick. You can swing for high damage very fast early on. So that matchup's actually pretty good because we're so fast. Against, trying to think what else. Go hard decks can be annoying, if they just pop your Zoe right away. Can definitely be annoying, but we have a lot of damage swings, and we do have Notifies, and we do have Denies for their big Withering Whales and things like that. And other elusive decks, you kind of just going to go hand in hand. You're going to try to out elusive them. You're going to try to buff your elusive units with the Mentor of Stones, with the Blessing of Targon, things like that, and you're going to try to just overwhelm them on the offensive. For Mulligan tips, Zoe, Sparring Student, Sketcher, all fantastic. Greenblade Duo is really good. Starry Scamp is really good if you have either Zoe or Spacey. And then Zed is really good if you at least have a 1-drop. If your hand has no 1-drops, you might want to pitch Zed, but even that, you still might want to keep Zed. It might be worth it, depending, because we're running 9 1-drops. You definitely want one of the 1-drops. Any of them work. And your best 2-drop to keep is the Greenblade Duo, for sure. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much the deck. It's super solid. You actually don't want Sparklefly. That is something for the mulligan as well. Not really needed. You kind of want him a little bit later for buff, but he's really, really key against other aggro decks where you can slip in damage after you buff the Sparklefly and get some good heals there and keep you alive for just one extra turn. Super, super solid there. So let's run a game with it. And I'll run a normal game here, just so I can just kind of talk through my decisions without having to overthink anything. Guys, if you are enjoying the content, like I said, subscriptions, or subscribing and comments, all super helpful for us. This is day 7. This is the last day, and we're giving away a mouse pad tomorrow. So if you're watching this on the 23rd, when it comes out on the 24th, Christmas Eve, we'll be giving away a mouse pad. And they just came in. They look sweet. Have them downstairs, and we'll be sending that out to someone in the United States. All right, so Sneaky Zeebles we don't need. We're playing Lee Sin Victor. Starry Scamp and Spacey Sketcher, super good. And Greenblade Duo is an awesome card to keep as well. So that's is pretty aggressive. We got a pretty aggressive turn here. All right, so we're going to Spacey into Spacey. And we're going to take the Serpent, I think. It might be a little too aggressive to take the Serpent. So we do hit a point where we're like, all right, are we actually going to be a little too aggressive? So we're going to take the Messenger. So, yeah, we could have played 4 units on turn 1, but our hand would have been literally just a Greenblade Duo. That's a little bit too aggressive, in my opinion, and would leave us in a little bit of an awkward spot hand-wise. Now, at least the Messenger can refresh our hand a little bit as we go. So, I think the Messenger is the right call. Yes, we could have gotten 2 more damage, which is hilarious, but obviously we just kind of had an insane hand. Spacey and Starry Scamp is nuts. Alright, we got a Blessing of Targon. See what their turn 2 is. So they have an Ignition Bot. So we are going to play their turn 3. They don't have a champion. I don't really want them to play another unit next turn. It could just be a Neandroid. Let's go with the Messenger, in case we draw Zed or something. So he could attack. Probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because I can block and then he would trade negatively. So now I do have the option to play something, which is a tough call. I think I'm just going to open attack before he gets to play another unit, though. So I could have played the Mentor to get some positive value there. Not that worried about it. And if he did just kill the Mentor, it's pretty bad. We'll play Greenblade Duo, we'll play Mentor next turn, and that'll be our plan going forward, is on our open attack we can really buff the crap out of the Duo. Alright, so he is getting some units for some jump blocks, which hopefully if we stay aggressive enough, we can force him to use. Alrighty. Alright, Sparring Student's pretty good. Again, it's a lot better with Zed. He's got an Assembly Bot. So we'll play Sparring Student. Alright. He's passing, so we're going to open attack because obviously we're not going to be able to play anything. And we're burning out a little bit on that, but we're going to send all of this. So we might just Blessing of Targon whatever damage gets to go through. Yeah, we're going to Blessing of Targon the student here. So the Mentor obviously is a permanent buff, so now our elusive unit is permanently buffed, which is nice. This is a little bit of a risky play if he is running a lot of removal, because I didn't have mana for Deny there, but went for it anyway. And now our hand is just 2 denies to stop whatever spells we're going to face. And then we got to punch the damage through next turn. So he's definitely going to be able to challenge me out if he has a burst spell. If he doesn't, I might be able to deny it. And then we can try to just spread our damage out to get 3 damage through between multiple different units. And obviously we just kind of went balls to the wall here and just swung everything out. We didn't see our champions, but... So play that, bring this thing even higher. Sparring student gets bigger, but this is only a temporary buff. Alright, he's going for the kill, so we'll deny that, which will be great. This will also cancel Lee Sin getting his challenger first, which is really big for us. I will hold it like I can bluff that I have Notify, so I'll pass for a second. Now on my open, I can just simply put a gem on that, so this is great. So we're going to spread the damage as much as we can. And then save enough for Deny or Blessing of Targon, send out our damage. So on our turn 7 open attack, this is a decent attack. And obviously he didn't see a whole lot of removal. I mean, he tried to remove it there at slow speed, but... Alright, well that doesn't really do anything, so I think we're set. And even if he did have anything, we were pretty set with Blessing and Deny. And obviously you just saw us just kind of try to take everything we had and throw it out there. I do think that first choice is tough. The Serpent, when we have Starry Scamps and we're going to play everything, it is tough. You can also, there's a lot of weird lines to play. You could actually save, and we'll run one more since that was so quick. You can actually save your Starry your Starry Scamps, the 0-cost 2-drops, for when you actually have a Sparring Student on board or a Greenblade duo, if you know you're going to have it coming up, so you can plan a big attack like that. It's not always the best move. Just because there on turn 1, obviously I got 5 damage through right away, and my turn 3 attack was also massive, so it wasn't super worth it at that point. I'm going to keep one Zed, and I'm going to pitch these 3. We're going to see how that goes. So it went pretty poorly. Obviously, we didn't get the drops we needed, but we'll see how it goes with just building up Zed. And it's risky, like it's a risky take to do that, but at least it's a unit. If I would have got all spells back, we were very spell heavy, so if you get like Notifies and Bastions back, it's very ugly when you just have that. But Zed will be able to do at least some damage here if he can't remove him, and I have some decent protection for him as well. So it's not all lost. It can turn into just a kind of protect Zed moment here. And there's Zoe a little late. And we do have 9 1-drops, so, you know, and 9 2-drops as well. So it's a little unlucky to pull these 3, but at least we have a solid 3-drop. Because if I did pitch this at it and we got spells back, it would have been even worse. Concussive Palm. Sure. So he's stopping the Zed attack for the turn. Nothing I can deny or anything like that. Yeah, we got a Starry Scamp. So we'll probably just try to play Mentor and Zoe here. And then have a big attack next turn. Oh, he's actually stealing cards from me too. So it could be a cheap unit, could be a protection spell. Oh, he's stealing a lot of cards. 0-cost Sparring Student's pretty good. And we'll see what attack he takes. I do have some options here. I don't run any 1-cost things. I would like to actually kill the merchant before he gets anything else going with it. So we're going to block and do this. Stay alive. I mean, he could technically have something that kills me with... No, he didn't steal that card, so I don't think there's anything in my deck that costs 1 that'll help him in that situation, so Zed obviously took some damage, but we're definitely going to open attack here. See, it's tougher because now we want to play this as well, but there are cards he could play that punishes us pretty bad. So we're going to go for the open attack. It is pretty good to put this, I mean, on Zoe as well, but it's really good on Zed, just because the Shadow also becomes a 5/3, so they don't want to eat that damage right away, so Mentor with Zed, super strong. Yeah, it should get out at least some chump blocks. In that case, it'll get out all the chump blocks. Got some kind of spell coming in. A retreat. Yeah, probably don't feel like dealing with retreat, so we'll Notify it. Just don't want to give him another free concussive palm. We want to stay aggressive here. Zoe typically won't level up in this deck, but against certain matchups, it's always possible that you want to go for that. I mean, especially when the deck doesn't have that much removal, like Ionia Bilge. There isn't a lot of direct removal for Zoe. So it might become a situation where we're actually trying to level her up. But we don't have a lot of units that are going to share keywords. I mean, that is the best one, really, that we can have that actually shares anything. So we obviously can play a lot more things right here if I wanted to. I could burst speed this out and then play that. But we want to save some spell mana as well. That's the best unit to play with a leveled Zoe, so that might be what I'm waiting for now. But I'm going to play a super cool star chart and probably take the messenger here. I don't want to play everything because I do want to save some buffs for the Greenblade duo, but we do want to play as many different cards as we can. So he played that. We have gems, so we can pitch the gem with Spacey, get a charger. That's good. We're still going to try to be aggressive even though he's playing a combo deck. I want to keep the aggression going as much as I possibly can. She's at 6 out of 10, which is pretty good. We don't super care about our units now that they're out. We actually want to make more space for other things, so I will block. So I will also play the chart. Actually, I might wait here and try to build up. Like I said, there's not a whole lot that they punish us with. He's running a Fade Blade, which could be weird. But I think I'll pass here and then try to use these cards to buff up my elusive damage here. Obviously, he does have the Sparklefly to block Zoe. Unless I can get her leveled up beforehand, which is definitely possible. I got some pretty cheap stuff to play. I need to play 4 cards. I might actually go for the level up on Zoe before I play that, which is nice. Another really good thing is you can kind of just buy actions with the Starry Scamp. You know, instead of passing, it's like gems. You can kind of just freely play that, which is super nice. So she's at that. So this will put her to 8. So you got a Sparring student. So I don't believe I've played a gem yet. So I'll put a gem out. That puts her to 9. So when you played your 10th different card, if it's a creature, it actually procs Zoe's level up condition. So that's something important to know about Zoe. I don't have to level her up and then play this. I can just play this now, and the keywords will be shared throughout the whole board on level, even though she wasn't leveled. So obviously, an entire board filled with elusive, life-stealing things is pretty absurd. He's not leveled, but he will still give a pretty solid unit off the backdrop. So we will send all of these, and then we'll let that summon a 6/4 as well. We'll lifesteal fully back up. He only has 1 blocker for something normal, and then he can block this with anything else. So we put him down to 5. We're not going to kill him here, but we're going to do a lot of damage and get a free Behold the Infinite, which is good. And then all we have to do is not die to Lee Sin, and then we should be fine. So when Zoe does level up, it's pretty obnoxious, but like I said, it's not typically what we're going for. And we'll just grab a warrior just to have another big unit, and then we're pretty much good. We don't need to overwrite anything. Our board looks really solid. And we're hanging out. So really all we have to do is survive this turn, and then we should win. He's had plenty of chump blocks for Zed. You know, you don't really get Zed through all the time. It's more of if you get like a sneaky Zeeble play in this deck where you can actually stun their board and get Zed through, you can have some good success. But if not, you know, kind of is what it is. You don't get that exactly. Now, this deck also has a lot of answers for Lee Sin decks in general. Lee Sin's whole point is to combo and then use a Dragon's Rage in combat, like with Overwhelm or something. This one, obviously, he's not going to have access to Overwhelm, but we have a lot of ways to stop some Lee Sin nonsense with this. But yeah, this Zed is going to die, which is unfortunate, but it's kind of what it is. We'll take the extra damage and not worry about it too much. And we'll probably just play a Greenblade duo instead of a Zed, because we just want to win the game with elusive at this point. And we'll end the round. We don't really need to play anything here, and we'll just send out this massive elusive attack, and we should win on attack with this. And that's the deck, guys. So Hope you enjoyed it. This was day 7. I'm going to try to grind with this a little bit in ranked. I haven't had a whole lot of time for ranked because I've been so focused on making 7 different decks and actually getting them to a point where I feel confident enough to share them. I don't want to just bust out decks that are all just complete nonsense and garbage. So ideally, I'm just making stuff that's at least playable right away. And yeah, I'm pretty confident in all 7 that I made. I think they're all pretty solid decks. I'm not sure if they're the tier 1, but they're definitely at least tier 2. And I'm sure they could use refinement to your playstyle from what my playstyle is. They're all different archetypes, so I hope you enjoyed these 7 different decks. If you missed any, every video is right here on our YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed the content while you watched. And again, we're the Trinstons podcast. We do a ton of different content, including podcast articles on runeterraccg.com, videos here, anything you can think of content-wise, we got it for you. So if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and hopefully good luck in the giveaways so you can win this mouse pad, which will be sweet, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas.